What is up, everybody? It is Pork Chop live on Wednesday night on the Mash and Drum. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another fun Wednesday night here on the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room. Glad you are here. Glad you're here for the big night. Blendageddon Week 2 is about to go down. We got 5 fantastic blenders about to go head-to-head. We'll see what happens tonight. 1-900 Pork Chop. Eric Farrar is throwing in the toll-free number to make your donations to Pork Chop. Jason, you're really nailing the Advent episodes. Great job, Pork Chop. Thanks so much, man. I'm having a lot of fun with it. They are the only criticism I've gotten is people are saying that I'm lowballing a lot of the prices. And maybe I am, but I think it's because honestly, I'm saying like this is what I would pay for this bottle after tasting it. Now, the only one I think people lost their mind over is the Jack Daniel's Coy Hill, because I knew what it was. So when I said like $130 for that, yeah, that's about what I would pay for it. Just because I wouldn't pay $400 for it doesn't mean, other people shouldn't, or if they want to, that's fine. But because I knew what it was and because I've tasted it before, that's what I'm going to pay for it. So I think if people want me to try to take the price, and so if I think I know what it is and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm going to name it a secondary price, that's not the name of the game. So there it is. I think Grinch is getting as good as he gives this year. Yeah. I'm trying to give it back to the Grinch a little bit. Another question I got is people were like, do you write this stuff beforehand? So it's actually pretty organic, because I'll sit down and obviously I want to, talk about certain movies, and people are asking me to talk about like certain Christmas movies and certain Christmas specials or songs or music and stuff like that. And so it'll kind of start off like that, and then I'll just be sitting behind the camera and it just kind of evolves very quickly, or devolves, however you look at it. So what is going on, everybody? Welcome here on Whiskey Wednesday night. We have a fun show lined up for you. A lot of cool whiskeys to taste through. On top of that, we will be going through Blendageddon round number 2, or week number 2, I should say. So that bracket is ready to go. Who do we have tonight? I don't want to play the intro yet. Where's the close-up of week 2? Oh, there it is. So that's the week 2 bracket right there. You see Jeff Perkins, Marshall Konico, Adam Dorman, Bill Kavanaugh, and Martell from the Buckhorn podcast. Bill Kavanaugh might have one of the greatest names I've ever seen for a blend. Just basically says, name me when I win, which I think is pretty brilliant. So that's pretty cool. Here is the full bracket, and we will kind of get into that a little bit later. But we do have a special guest judge that's going to be coming on. So yeah, it's going to be a fun night. Plus, oh, excuse me, got the hiccups. Plus, on top of that, we're about to dive into the latest Remus 2024. Everybody's been asking me to review it. I've been hearing how good it is, so I went out last weekend and I spent the $250 on it. It's expensive. So I'm going to pour it here tonight, and I'm going to compare it to the Remus number 8, which I actually think was probably one of the better Remuses we've had in the last several years. Obviously, aside from the 5. You always got to leave the 5 out of the equation. So we'll dive into that here in just a minute. Let me just say hi to some folks in the chat. So we have Always Champs. He's like looking forward to this one. Repeal 8 is supposedly be pretty good for half the price. We'll find out. Always Champs. Let's see. JG's in the house. What's going on? We got EJ. We got John Riddlings, who's now a new member. Nick, thanks for becoming a member, man. That picture of that sandwich, John Riddlings, you're already number 1 in my book. Look at that. I don't even know what sandwich that is, but I want to eat it. I don't know. I see a chicken cutlet in there, maybe some melted cheese. I don't know what the hell that is, but give me it. Order it up, John. Mamuka is here. What's going on, Mamuka? Nice to see you, man. We got Nathan Jurgensen in the house. He's got a little Russell Reserve 10 ME in the Glen. Ed Williams is here. We got Ham Turkey. We got Travis Robeson. What's up, Trav? Nice to see you, man. Randall Erickson is here. He's got a little Michter's 10-year. Jason Cruitt. We got Sandeep Chima. What is going on? Nice to see you as always. Randall Erickson. Andrew Bergstrom is here. He goes Stag Junior 24A versus Single Rickhouse CNF versus Foregate Foundation Batch 5, rumored to be Buffalo Turkey blend versus 9-year OESK. So I can tell you that the Foregate Foundation, it's not buffalo turkey. That's all I'm going to say. But it is, let's just say it leans more buffalo than it does turkey. That's all I'll say. Let's see here. Roscoe P. Coltrane is here. We got Tim Romero. We got Josh Fritz is here. Who else is coming in? Scotty Alexander. M&J Middle West Rye tonight. Oh, hell yeah. I love that bottle. I'm already halfway down on mine. I love that thing. Adam Hinson's here. What's up, Adam? Nice to see you, man. Russ L's here. Michael Speakerman. That's me. Jeff Perkins. I think I said hi to you. Phil Arai is here. We got Mary S. is in the house. What's going on, Mary S? We got Sean Holtgrave. Sup, dudes? Whiskey Juice. He's been waiting for the Remus Gatsby review. Yeah, it's going to happen. Larry 3R is here. Eric Sawyer, one of the previous Blendageddon champions in the house. Nice to see you, buddy. GW Gamel's here. Kenneth Clark. Top Jimmy, as always, in the house. Nice to see you as well. Jay Will Drink is here. Got Mike Daly. Juan Soto is a Met. Oh, we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about how bad my Falcons have shit the bed in the last month. So that's been great to watch, or not watch, I should say. Tim Taylor's here. Raging Irishman. Dustin Pichelle here. Everett Jarvis. Warren Smith. Eric Farrar. Landed one of those E.H. Taylor Barrelproof Ryes today. Wasn't even looking for one, and my store called me. Dude, that's how you make relationships. You get some allocated stuff, man. Tim Cornet is here. We got Norman Coughlin. Let's see. James Lay, LFG, pork chop on fire. The pork chop is well done. Yes, thank you, Eric. Appreciate that. Mark Emmenecker's here. What is going on, bud? Giselle's Boston. Congrats on Mets signing Soto. Adam Dorman, one of our blenders tonight. Jeff Perkins, one of our blenders. Giddy Up, Paul P. Whiskey Juice, Mike Ives, and more people coming in. Dr. Sped with the first super chat of the night. And he gets a I love you, I love you, I love you. All right, thank you, Mr. L, for that. Appreciate you. And let's see what else. And okay, I'm just gonna go back and I will just catch up to everybody else once I can. All right, I'm just kind of going down. Yes, the Kirko curse. Yeah, Skull Vikings. Adelio, enough with the Skull Vikings. You're not even a Viking, dude. Just stop saying it. Jesus. Kirko chains fizzled. That's right. So, yeah, how does the Soto deal feel? I've been getting this question a lot, obviously, because everybody knows I'm a huge Mets fan. I don't know how to think about it because as a Mets fan, there's two sides to the coin. And I'm just talking from a straight up, I tend to be a pretty down-to-earth Mets fan. I don't really look at, pie in the sky too much because I've been disappointed too many times. That's just been my, sports fandom history. I get disappointed a lot more than I get, rewarded for being a fan of the teams that I root for, unfortunately. But I'll say this. I think it's awesome how the Mets, we have an owner now that's willing to spend the money. Obviously, he spent a shit ton of money and compete with kind of, what the Yankees are doing or what the Yankees have done for so long. Now, does it make them better than the Yankees? No. I mean, the Yankees are always going to have the history on the Mets. They were created years before the Mets were even ever conceived as a team, not until the 1960s. So the Yankees will always have that on the Mets. But for a small portion of time here, at least, from what I was listening to from the New York radio stations that I used to listen to when I moved there, thankfully they're on YouTube and I could stream them. It kind of gives the feeling that the Mets are now kind of like, all right, well, we can play with the big boys. We're no longer a younger brother to the Yankees anymore. And it kind of sucks that it's always just been based on money and spending, but that's really what it's been about. So for the Mets to get Juan Soto, a hitter like that, is incredible. Now, the flip side to it, like the Mets' luck, he signs for 15 years. Now, I doubt he will play out the length of that contract. I don't think he'll ever make it to 15 years. If somebody ever picks it up. But the caveat to that is knowing the Mets' luck, he'll play this year at some point, and God forbid he will get hurt and be out for the season. And then, I don't know, the Mets' luck is he'll get hurt this year, and then he comes back, and he keeps coming back, and he's back and forth, and he's never the same. But that's the Mets' luck, if that were to happen. I don't want it to happen. I want him to crush, 50 home runs a year for the Mets with that lineup. And if they somehow, keep Alonso, and they have Lindor and everybody else kind of falls in line. Vientos, who kind of just lit up, especially in the postseason. That's a lot of runs they could score. And now if they shore up the pitching staff, they got a shot. They still got to beat the Dodgers, who are an incredible team, and we'll see what happens. But so that's really kind of my initial thoughts. But it's always in, like a Mets fan, it's always in the back of your head. It's always in the back of your head. What's up, Cool Running? Nice to see you. Jeff Perkins, Adam Dorman. Let's see. Anybody else? No, Prescription Bourbon's here. T-Rob. All right. All right. So let's pour the Gatsby. That's a big pour. All right. So Remus Gatsby Reserve. Stats on this one. 15-year H statement. It's cast strength at 104.9 proof. This is the 2024 limited edition release. And of course, it's been distilled by the old Ross and Squibb. Now, next to it, I'm going to pour the 101 proof Remus number 8, which was a nice little bump up in 1 point bump in proof, and also kind of a nice just I don't know. I think Remus, not enough talking about the Remus. Not enough people are talking about the Remus 8 this year. I do think it was a lot better than what we've seen in the last couple of years. Now, I mean, if you just look at them next to each other, the Remus Gatsby is definitely a darker color here. So. Jable Drink is digging Remus 8 this year. Yeah, so am I, man. Totally. Us Padres fans have the same feelings as Mets fans. Have to go through the Dodgers. Yeah, exactly. Give Paul Skenes $1 billion to come up short to the Yankees. Yeah, right. Oh my God. Sean Holtgrave. Oh, Sean Holtgrave is not a sports fan. That's okay, man. I also saw an 8-year-old ECB Proud Private Blend toasted bourbon. Yeah, I have not seen any of the toasted ryes yet. So. It has some 17-year in it too. Eric Farrar says, yeah, actually, let me go to it doesn't matter now. I just want to taste it. Crafted with the finest 15-year-old reserves, the ultra limited cast strength celebrates F. Scott Fitzgerald novel, Great Gatsby. Okay. All right. I like it. All right. Let's dive into this one first, guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight. It's going to be a fun night. Here we go. Rare Breed says this M&J backbone pick is stupid delicious. Definitely needed a backup. Yeah, Rare Breed, that thing is crazy good. It's crazy good. All right. First thing on the nose. And guys, cheers. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Don't forget to run up the like button, hit it, smash it, whatever you got to do. Let's get we have 277 people already watching. Let's get as close to that number in likes as we can. Thank you so much. All right, first thing that hits me on the Gatsby is cherry, but it's not that cherry cola note that I really love in MGP. This is like a medicinal cherry. We're getting like borderline Luden's cough drop a little bit here. Yeah, fondle the like button. Whatever you want to do, Kenneth. Whatever makes you, whatever gets you up in the morning or gets you up tonight. Whatever you got to do, man. Yeah, leather, tobacco, and literally medicinal cherry, like Luden's cough drops on here on the nose. Is the Remus Babe Ruth Reserve worth it? No, Steven, unless you're a big Yankee Babe Ruth fan, I wouldn't buy that one. It's not worth the price point on it. Consider it caressed. What else we got in here? Let me see if the nope, that's not it. Oh, yeah, this is it. Yeah, I'm just like going down the news stories because I feel like this news story on this bottle just popped up not that long. Oh yeah, it's right here. Okay. Yeah, $229.99 for a bottle, 75 corn, 21 rye, 4% malted barley. But it also uses the other mash bill that Remus has, or that MGP has, which is 60 corn, 36 rye, and 4% malted barley. And yeah. Yeah, Remus 2023 was 98.1. So we're a nice, kind of bump here with on the proof point. Not a huge proof, but yeah. So all right. So there you go. Yeah, this is old school leather tobacco. This is deep, rich, really beautiful oak. Again, that I mean, you could argue this is an old school MGP profile. This isn't like the candied orange, deep wood notes that you get sometimes. That cedar. This is more of that cherry forward. But you know, it's kind of medicinal. It almost reminds me a little bit of the Wild Turkey 17-year bottled and bond, the Master's Keep. That definitely gave me vibes of this a little bit. All right, let's give it a try. Here we go. Cheers. No, I would say Luden's, not Ricola. Triple base Gatsby M10, Russell Reserve 15. Oh, that's a good one. Oh wow. I gotta tell you, the finish on this is lovely. Great spice to it. It's got to be that 36% rye mash bill in there. That's really good. Yeah, honestly, that's there's a little bit of a nuttiness quality to it as well, especially on the mid palate. Right before it gets into that really spicy finish, there's a little nuttiness that hits right in the mid palate, and that also could be that old school oak, the leather, the like kind of like a sweet tobacco. It dries the palate out for a second until it gets into that spice, but the front of it is all like medicinal cherry. You know, like you drop like a pack of Luden's cough drops in your cherry Coke a little bit. That's what it tastes like. Ricola. Your thoughts? BT Prohibition Collection, The Humble Human. I've never tried it before. I've never had the pleasure to try that one, unfortunately. So I did try to win it in the lottery. I was going to pay the $1,000 to get it here in OHLQ, but again, I haven't won shit from OHLQ in years. It just drives me nuts, man, because I see people posting on social media all the time. It's the third time I've won. It's the fourth time I've won. The second time, like F you, man. Like, God, these people win 2, 3, 4 times, and there's so many people that haven't won once. I don't get it. I call their algorithm bullshit because the same people keep winning. OHLQ, fix your freaking algorithm so new people can win. I'm not saying it just for me, but other people. Because when people are winning 2, 3, 4 times, that's bullshit. And then your algorithm, your lottery, or whatever you do, it's bullshit. Come on, fix it. All right, rant over. Just, I mean, come on, like if you're winning multiple times, you should be like cut out from the freaking lottery. I don't care. Scan a license, do whatever you got to do, but let somebody else win. It's ridiculous when these people are winning multiple times. Come on. Now, if they have a family member that signs up and they win, fine. But the same guy winning 2, 3, 4 times, something's rotten in Denmark. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit. The sausage has been in the oven a little too long. I think something's not going well. Something's burnt. Just saying. Yeah, I mean, it is better than the drops at Chop sometimes, but I mean, geez. Can I send you some J. Henry from Wisconsin? I've had some J. Henry before, Wisco Dick, but I just haven't had a lot of recent J. Henry. Just saying. I feel that way about the Old Forester birthday bourbon, says Warren Smith. Yeah, it's just like one of those things. I don't know, man. Just, I don't know. It's like either I'm that unlucky or the people are just that lucky or something's weird. I don't know. I don't know how to look at it. When people are like, "Oh, it's my third time winning," like how? How are you winning 3 times? You know what? This is really fantastic. I will say. And you know what wins me on it? And let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. The finish. The finish on it is incredible. It goes for days. It's velvety. However, I do wish there was a little bit more flavor punch to it. But obviously, with the proof point and how old it is, it can definitely, I don't know. I think people would taste this and say, it's not a $230, $250 bourbon. And I think I would probably agree with that to some extent. Like if I was trying this blind, I'd probably say this is a $150 to a $100, maybe $70 bourbon, but $200 to $250, that's a lot for this. I think it's a very, very good bourbon. This has Russell's 15-esque flavors in it. But I think the Russell's 15 is just a little bit more different. It's more exciting. But this thing it's a hitter. I mean, I might be completely wrong, but I'm going to put this at the end of the year in the blind. This could be like a sneaky last minute end of the year top 10 contender. I actually think it's that good. The finish on it is incredible. It's still going. It just goes and goes and goes. I don't think it's rigged, not like showing up 7 minutes after I get an email about a shock drop and there's over 100 people in line. Yeah. All this from the guy who won $100 worth of Bourbon County Stout like 3 in a row. Yeah, Sean, but that's like, you're paying to play. I'm paying for entries. Like the more entries you put in, obviously the better shot you have to win. OHLQ, you get one entry. One. That's it. You get one. So for people to get one entry and win, 5 times in the last, several years, I don't understand how that happens. It's crazy. Yeah. So struck out on Russell Reserve 15, Gatsby 24, sitting at 230. Good consolation prize. Yeah, never lucky here on vacation Thanksgiving weekend in Kentucky. I signed up for the Kroger Pappy Drop and won an old rep. Oh, that's good. I've entered a ton of raffles and never win. Finally, that's good. Yeah, I've never won a Pappy. Never won. I've never owned a Pappy. Never owned any. People ask me all the time, "Can you review Pappy?" I'm like, I don't have Pappy. I have none. I don't have a 15. I don't have a 20. I don't have a 23. I don't have an old rip 10, and I don't have a lot B. I just don't have it. And I'm not paying the stupid secondary prices for them because I know they're not worth it. Russell's Reserve 15 kills every single one of those bottles. And I could probably just get that a lot easier if I wanted to. So actually this Remus, I would probably take this Remus 2024 over. I don't know if I would take it over Pappy 15, but I would probably take it over Pappy 20 and 23 for sure. Pappy 15 is damn good. But I haven't had, one of the latest ones, but I would definitely take this over freaking old rip and also lot B, which people pay stupid amounts of money for. I mean, come on. It boggles my mind that people still go crazy for the Pappy shit. It's good bourbon. It's not exceptional bourbon. It's exceptional because it's rare and people can't get them. And let's be honest, that's what it is. What's the most you've spent on a bottle of bourbon, and was it worth it? It's actually this bottle right back here, that Wild Turkey Cheesy Gold Foil. I think that might be the most I've ever spent on a bottle. That was like $1,400. I think that's the most I've ever spent on one singular bottle. Oh, actually, no. Well, the King of Kentucky was less. King of Kentucky was less. I actually got a decent deal on that one. It's the Wild Turkey Cheesy Gold Foil. That one was about $1,400. Other bottles that have come close to that, the Al Young 50th I have, that got close. Excuse me. The first William LaRue Weller I ever bought came close. That was, I think, like $800 maybe. Worth the $1,400 to me, yeah, because that's the one bottle that's a special bottle of bourbon. You interested in the Pro Collection, the Humble Human? You ever feel like nothing good was gonna happen to you? Yeah, and nothing did. So what? Paulie Walnuts. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm just. Well, maybe it does sound like I'm complaining. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm complaining. I'm not complaining. I don't ever need a Pappy or anything. Yeah, it'd be cool to like do a content, video of them, but there's no part of me. Like if I was in a raffle right now and all of a sudden I needed, and there was like, hey, you win your choice of Russell 15, Pappy 20, 23 or something else, probably take the Russell's 15, to be honest. Just because I know I'm going to drink it. Now, if there was no choice and they gave me a Pappy 20, here, this is what you win, I would probably trade it for something else, to be honest. Pappy 15, probably the only one I would keep. Because I've tried multiple Pappy 15s, samples and pours at bars, and even against the 2023, it's always been my favorite consistently. So, what's up, Henry Turner? This is good. This is good. It's a little bit, what's the word? It doesn't have many directions it goes. it doesn't like evolve like Russell's 15 does, or even the George T. Stag from this year. It stays pretty even keel. You have your medicinal cherry, a lot of leather, oak, a little bit of nuttiness. The best part of this is the finish. I don't like the price on this. I do wish this was closer to, you know, maybe 175. I do realize it's 15 years old from one of the biggest distillers in the world, so you're going to pay for that. I get it. Not everything is like, you know, Knob Creek prices, but I really do like this. Am I happy I bought it? Kind of, just because I'm curious to see what it's going to do in the end of the year blind, especially against like Stag and Russell's 15. The proof might hurt it, but I'm curious to see how that's going to stay. So we'll see how it goes. But if you're on a budget, I don't think you need the Remus. But if you're, I don't know, I think it's exactly what it is. It's a luxury bottle. It's a nice to have, but not a need to have for me, especially at now. If it was 150, 160, I'd say go out and get it. But at $220, $230, that's a large ask. I think it'll kill KC18. KC18 I liked, I didn't love, but I think this would kill the KC18. Let's taste the Remus here real quick. Yeah, it doesn't nearly have the finish and the that deep, rich cherry flavor that the Remus, that the Gatsby has. But I tell you what, the viscosity of Remus, because it's non-chill filtered, the viscosity of this one might be a little bit better than the Gatsby, to be honest. But it does have some of those little inklings of old school MGP in it, which is, I think, people want and ask for. Yeah, it's just crazy how much it lacks in like that finish and that deep, rich oak and cherry category. So the Gatsby is definitely, I don't think it's really that close. I think it's a big step up. I think the Remus this year is probably one of the better ones that they've put out in quite a while. But the Gatsby, I think, is a big step up. I would say if you're in the market to maybe buy a Gatsby, if you can, let's do, I mean, if you could try it before you buy it at a friend's house or a bar, I would recommend trying to do that before you pull the trigger on it, just because, see how you like it. I think it's really, really good. I just don't like it at $220, $230. It's a lot. It's definitely good. I don't think you'd be disappointed, but that's a lot to ask, man. Most expensive bottles I bought was 21-year Willet, supposedly weeded mash bill from Heaven Hill, pre-fire, 138. It's insanely good. No regrets, says Toshi Bake. Yeah, I would imagine a 21-year-old Willet was quite a few dollars, man. Yes, 365 in the chat. Kindly hit the like button. Do you still have the original Gatsby bottle to compare? No, that one's gone. I actually really like that one. That one, I kind of killed that bottle. All right, so let's put this away. So real quick, so something kind of cool was sent to me, and I kind of wanted to experience this. Well, before I do that, I'm kind of jumping all over the place. I was at a company Christmas party tonight, Christmas dinner, and I totally forgot to email my guest judge the link to join. So let me do that real quick before I forget. There that person is. They'll be joining us in a little bit. And done. All right, secret judge, it's on the way if you're watching. All right, so I want to preface this by telling everybody I got sent this Blind Barrels kit from Blind Barrels. It's a company that I've seen that has worked with not only a few different whiskey channels, but Fred Minnick and a couple of others. So they were kind enough to send me this, and they did not, and I want to be clear here, they did not tell me to do this on a live stream. They did not offer me up any money for this bottle, for this kit. They just sent it to me. They said, try, see what you think. Let us know what you think about it. So I figured this might be a cool little pre-warm up here before we get into Blendageddon tonight. So there's 4 samples in here. I don't know what they are, but this also could be kind of a cool idea for a Christmas gift. So I thought the timing would be kind of cool to do this. So if you guys don't know who Blind Barrels are, this is their 10th release, their 10th box. to commemorate their shared journey discovering all the innovation and top shelf whiskey made by American craft distillers. We are calling this release Legacy, honoring those distillers who are working to establish a new tradition of craft whiskey, those who are reigniting old stories and types of whiskeys, and honoring you, our community of members who are continually inspiring us with your passion and curiosity for the world of whiskey. My God, that was a long sentence. So for the amazing 10th release, we have a reintroduction. So they give you a couple of hints, which is kind of cool. A reintroduction to a type of whiskey that Ben Franklin used to bring over to England. A well-aged bourbon that comes from a whiskey outlaw legend from a now lost distillery. A rye whiskey that uses a triticale, a fun wheat rye hybrid, as a flavor grain. That doesn't really excite me. I never really liked that triticale grain, however the hell you pronounce it. And a whiskey collaboration with a craft brewery based on a sour beer recipe. Oh, Lord. Be sure to flip this over for another delicious whiskey recipe, as well as an original cocktail featuring a whiskey from order lineup. So pretty cool. The answers, I think, are on a QR code that you get. Blind Barrel's website, is that the new Found North high altitude media sample hiding in the front of Gatsby? How does that taste? We're going to dive into that right now, Jeff. But I did want to show this to you guys. So here is the box that you get, which is pretty cool. And then when you open the front, it's got you got the big logo, you got the whole introduction, and then obviously underneath the paper are your 4 blind samples. So I think it's just kind of a cool way to kind of experience some new whiskeys if you want, instead of having to buy all the bottles. And then they give you a tasting table that comes with it with all the different notes, so you could kind of follow along. And then the QR code to scan to find out what the whiskeys are. So really cool little service that they sent along. And again, like I said, they did not, there was no preemptive like deal to do this. They sent it to like, tell me what you think. So I figured, oh, let's do it tonight. Why not? So I'm going to go through these here in a little bit, but yeah, I'm going to try this with you guys real quick. This is the new Found North high altitude collection. This is a 15-year-old whiskey. And the weird thing about this whiskey is that all they send you when they sent this along is they sent us a email. And all the email said was that it's the high altitude collection. It's 15 years old and it's 123.2 proof. They're like keeping this under wraps and trying to keep this from getting out for some reason. They don't want a lot of people to know what exactly is in this. Now, knowing Found North, I'm guessing this is some Canadian whiskeys, most likely some Canadian rye mixed with some other shit. So I don't know what it is. I wish I could tell you more, but like there's nothing on their website. There was nothing in the email. It is what it is. So, all right. Are the samples 200 ml size? We'll get into that, but let me try this Found North with you guys before I forget, because I know we have a lot of whiskeys to go through tonight. So all right. So the high altitude collection from Found North is generally their higher tier, higher priced, usually lottery only bottles that you can you gotta kind of put in a chance to win. The last one, which was the Hell Diver, had a lot. I think that was their first entrance into that like category for the high altitude series, and it had multiple finishes, and it was a damn good whiskey. Now this one, they're kind of keeping under wraps. They're kind of keeping a little bit more of a secret. So let's dive into this one here. They should put that on the label, mixed with some other shit. Hey, Bourbon Lens is in the house. What's going on? Have you had Found North Batch 10? Heard some people comparing it to a big name Weeder. Yeah, Batch 10 was actually very good. That was a very good batch. So, yeah, I'm not really sure why they're keeping it under wraps. But let's dive into this. So it smells like a rye. So I feel like my instincts are correct in thinking that this is probably a high age rye. Jeff Hawkins says, I was told this is a new bird and not going to be a second flight of Peregrine or Helldiver. Excited to see what they choose to name this one. All right, Jeff, thanks for the inside info, man. So this is very fruit forward. It's heavy cinnamon. Man, this smells, not taste yet, but it smells like straight up just rye spice, cigar smoke. It smells fantastic. Cinnamon, honey. All right, let's give it a try. Gosh, it actually tastes like rum. It tastes like there's some kind of crazy maple syrup rum pancake thing on it with a lot of black peppers, a lot of spice. I was in South Frankie this week. Bourbon. Oh, what's up, Ron? Nice to see Ron Miles is here. Prescription Burden says M&J 100K 2024. Thanks, man. We're getting close. We're at 94.2 right now subscribers. So it's slowly but surely we're coming up. Maybe when I do my end of the year clickbaiters, maybe it'll kind of push me over the edge. We'll see. God, that's really good. I got something very dark and rich on the back end of that. Almost came off like it's not toffee, like a rum raisin dessert on the back end of it. It was like mixed with like a dark rum and some dark raisin. Had like a rum raisin cake or something there on the back end. It's got a lot of spice to it. That is really good. I don't know what the hell is in here, but I would imagine I don't think 15 years is the oldest whiskey that's in here. I think there's definitely some older stuff in here. I also think that there's definitely a finish or a combination of finishes on this. So we'll see what it ends up being. But if any of you guys are fans of Found North, now I really enjoyed the Helldiver, and I think this is better. At least right now. I don't have any Helldiver left. I didn't win the lottery, but I did have a sample bottle, but I think it's all gone. And the finish on this too is ridiculous. Clickbaiters get haters. No, Kenneth, I'm talking more about like the end of the year top 10, not like clickbaiters for clickbaiter's sake. Yeah, almost all effing stuff has a finish to it. You're not wrong, Jeff. Yeah, I get spicy rum raisin like dessert on that for sure. If it comes out, it's like we finish this in rum, I would not be surprised. So, all right, there you go. How much would I pay for this? Not knowing the price. How much was Helldiver? Like 150, 175? What was that? If this is about 150, I'd probably want one for 150. I think there's a lot going on in this bottle. If it's pushing 200, Jeff Hawkins 150. Okay. If it's 150, I'd buy this for 150. I think it's really good. There's just the finish alone. It's still happening. I mean, I put a lot of stock in the finish of a whiskey because I could sit and enjoy it for hours because the finish just lasts so long. That's what I like to find, and that's what this one is bringing. Yeah, I'm curious to see what is in here when it finally gets announced because it's really good. I'll be putting the lottery for this one for sure. When is the 2025 pork chop calendar coming out? Says JG. It's coming. Only kidding. All right. Let me get my oh man, I forgot about my moose mug. Sorry guys, I have to reach over. Awkward. All right. Got my Christmas vacation water mug. Just because I need to have some. I'm sure if Jason did an online review in a muscle shirt, it would get tons of subscribers. You want me to pull out the old tank tops, get a muscle shirt out for everybody? I don't know about that. Actually, I did have a cool idea, and I'm gonna poll you guys as I'm pouring these real quick. And don't worry, my special guest judge, we are almost there. All right, so this is A, B, C, and D. All right, so here's the thing. Everybody was. I don't know if you guys heard about the whole commotion about the Rayo's spaghetti sauce being named like number one sauce, like from a jar in like the best jarred sauce of all time. So somebody at work actually who knows I have a YouTube channel was like, you know what? I know you do whiskey, but it'd be pretty cool being that you're Italian. What you should do is put Rayo's up against your own, like a few other jarred sauces and do your own like taste tests on your channel and just like be like whiskey reviewer, Italian whiskey reviewer rates, does a blind taste test of the best sauces and see if I could get like a gazillion views from that. I don't know. I actually thought it was kind of a cool idea. So yeah. Top favorite jarred marinara sauces. Yeah, like I don't know, just kind of do something like that. Or literally, it's really all about the Rayo's because people are saying that Rayo's won some giant competition where they put a whole mess of sauces, all kind of like the San Francisco Spirit Awards, except it was jarred tomato sauce, and Rayo's beat everybody. So I'm like, how good is this Rayo's? I kind of want to try it out. Rayo's versus Mama C sauce. You know what? That'd be pretty cool. I sneak my mom's marinara sauce in there. Oh, okay. That could be pretty cool. Great value. I kid. He likes the Carbone. Michael's of Brooklyn. Rayo's is decent. ADHD tried doing that with candy or soda, and I don't think it stuck. Yeah, I'm sure it did. I'm sure it didn't, but because I really wouldn't center it around whiskey. I just kind of center around like whiskey reviewer tries these jarred sauces. I don't know. It just might be something fun to do. Because if I did it, I would just do it for shits and giggles, not expecting really any, subscribers to come out of it. And if I did get subscribers out of it, probably a bunch of crazy foodies that are asking me to do other shit. So I like to spruce my Rayo's up a bit. I ain't got the time or the Italian blood to make my own. Oh, that's funny, Jake. Carbone for pasta, Rayo's for garlic bread. New channel, the sauce and jar. I kind of like that. All right, let's go through these real quick and see, what these are. I'm just curious. This has kind of been like my my life the last couple of weeks with the whole blind tasting advent calendar thing. So that is young. Extremely floral. Got lemon zest. I think foodies would appreciate your whiskey reviews because of all the awesome tasting notes. ADHD sour pickle candy tasting is hilarious. Yeah, I gotta go back and watch that. I remember when he did that. Breaking Bourbon gave Rayo's 2.5 barrels. Tony sauce secrets. Yeah. Rayo's is good for low carb too. Well, sauce is mostly low carb as long as you don't. The thing that a lot of people do with sauces, especially jarred sauces, they add sugar to it. You're not really supposed to add sugar to sauce. And here's a nice little, if you really want your sauce to get sweeter without adding sugar to it, peel a potato and throw the potato right in the middle of the pot of sauce. Like this is if you're making a big pot of sauce. I'm not talking about a little pan of marinara sauce. That's not going to really do anything. I'm talking about a big pot. If you're making like a Sunday sauce, you got meat in there, you got all the stuff cooking, throw a peeled potato in there. And basically what happens is the potato will suck in a little bit of the water and also a lot of the acidity that's from the tomatoes into the potato. And it will naturally make your sauce sweeter without without you having to add any crap to it. So there you go. Italian sauce tip of the day. This is also actually getting very sweet and very tart. So it has an interesting nose to it. Let's try it. It's almost grapey. Grapey. No, don't eat the potato. It's going to taste terrible. Do not eat the potato. It will taste terrible. Leave it to a bourbon guy to suggest adding a tater. Jason Coates, comment of the night. I like that one. That's right. I like the Irish influence of the sauce recipes as raging Irishman. Never thought about it. Maybe that's what brings Irish and Italian together. The potato and the sauce. That's why Irish Italian weddings are the best weddings to go to. That's right. All right, so grapey, very fruit forward. This comes off like sweet tart candy. All right, let's go to B. Oh, this smells awful. Oh, I don't like that at all. What is that? Oh, it smells like. Oh, it smells like a boot that stepped in old Indian food. Oh, that's bad. I don't even know if I want to drink that. I mean, I wonder if this is that triticol crap that I told you I don't like. I'm gonna take a little sip of this. Oh yeah, it tastes as bad as it smells. Nope. Nope. Where's my moose? Nope. You guys know the face immediately. If I don't like it, I'm making a face. Oh my god. It tastes like chewing on a mothball with like lemon juice on it. Oh, it's so bad. What is that shit? All right, we're gonna skip that one. Let's go to C. See. Oh, Abandoned Bourbon is here. What's going on, Brian? Nice to see you, man. C is a little better, but still kind of funky. God, C smells like a so I'm gonna get that out of my nose. C smells like a greenhouse. Sorry, I just read this comment. I almost spit it out. Oh, it tastes better than it smells. That one might be the triticol. That has a very, very weird aftertaste, like something like I'm not getting corn, I'm not getting rye, I'm getting something weird on that one. Maybe that's the triticol, the triticoli. I don't even know how you say it. Oh man, it's a little bit sweet. Is this the rejects from the show Master Distiller sampler? Sounds painful. No, actually, I enjoyed the first sample. These next two were not great. Let's try this last one here. Oh, now this smells good. Now we're talking. This is how you end a flight. Okay. Oh man, this is buttery, guys. This is the toffee butter monster right here. This is what I want. This is what I want in my sample kit, dude. That smells ridiculous. This smells like an old dusty bourbon. Je, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that, man. It's just because the other one was so bad. No, this one is actually that good. This one is that good. But I mean, honestly, I think this is the point of blind barrels. You kind of get to taste some craft whiskeys, and then they'll mix in something like this. Man, I feel like this is a good gift for not maybe a newbie, but someone that's kind of past the newbie stage that wants to try different things. And I mean, this just because I don't really like these doesn't mean somebody else won't. You know, what's this saying? And one man's trash is another man's treasure. Yeah. I wish there was more of the toffee on the palate and that butteriness that it has on the nose. It doesn't translate as much, but that's easily the best one of the four. Yeah, easily the best one. All right, I want to find out what these are. And then we'll get Blendageddon going. We'll bring on our judge here. Because we have some news to go through. We have some samples to go through. Is this the reveal? After your first pass, use the QR code to taste along with us and reveal details about each spirit. All right, let's find out what this is. I hope this isn't anybody. Okay, let's try this. I'm doing the experience. Here we go. Click to. Oh, yes, I am of age. Click to reveal. This is pretty cool. You got a whole website. There's a video where you could taste along with the curators, with the Blind Barrel team. Click to reveal sample A. Sample A, which I didn't think was too bad. This is a $74.99 bottle from Cal Wise Spirits in Paso Robles, California. This is called Axe Hole Single Malt Whiskey. The single malt is made in collaboration with Firestone Walker Brewing Company, utilizing a whiskey mash based on a sour-style beer recipe. It is undergoing primary and secondary fermentation with native yeast and microflora for 2 years. Yes, you read that right. Only 84 proof. It's 3 years old. It's 100% malted barley. Wow. That's probably where I got that floral aspect, coming off kind of like a sour beer type of maturation to it. Anybody heard of this one? Anybody heard of this one? Adam Hinson, they stole my softball team name, Ace Holes. All right, so that one's pretty cool. Let's go. Oh, damn it, I lost it. Come back. Okay. All right, sample B. So this one I did not like. This one I thought could have been the that weird grain, but it is the weird grain. It's the Triticale. $54.99 for this one from Bent Distilling in Louisville, Texas. Unbent straight rye whiskey, bottled in bond. Whiskey is a rare 4-grain rye whiskey featuring local grain, Elbon rye. Triticale is a wheat rye hybrid from just down the road. English pale ale malt and oats. Proof 100 proof, 5.5 to 6 years old. 51% rye, 27% Triticale, 20% Maris Otter malted barley, 2% golden naked oats. Golden naked oats. That's got to be an OnlyFans channel. Reddish gold, floral and peppery, definitely floral and peppery, eucalyptus, cinnamon, green apple. Yeah, I did not get a lot of that. Okay. Wasn't really feeling that was the Triticale one. So then what is the C one? Because I think this one, that one, well, actually, no, B, I think was. Listen, there's a reason why certain grains aren't ubiquitous across the landscape of bourbon. It's because they taste like shit. So if they taste like shit, you probably shouldn't use it. Triticale oats, like, okay, like it's cool, it's experimental, but no. Nope. All right, sample C. This one was another weird one. This is Liberty Pole Spirits in Washington, Pennsylvania. This is a Pennsylvania entry. Old Monongahela Foolproof Rye Whiskey. That's where all that floral. That's why I said greenhouse, man. That thing is floral as hell. Blend of 6 casks ranges from 3.5 to 4.5 years old. 61% Pennsylvania grown rye, 13% malted rye, 13% wheat, 13% malted barley, muddlin raspberry, old leather, ripe cantaloupe. Oh, I could see the cantaloupe for sure. Spice, raspberry. Yeah, there's definitely something sweet on here. Yeah, as far as the first three, C might be my favorite. Every time I go back to it, it grows on me. I do like Monongahela rye. It's definitely more floral and more fruit forward than your typical rye. But I think they're onto something with this. Like to see that evolve over time for sure. So I kind of like that one. Liberty Pole Spirits. And last but not least, my favorite, the D. Who got the winner here? This is World Whiskey Society in Pendergrass, Georgia. Ivy Mountain Distillery, Mount Airy, Georgia. This is a Doc Holliday 10-year straight bourbon whiskey. This incredible bourbon is from a now lost distillery made by a family that has over 150 years of moonshining experience. 122 proof, 10 years old, 80% corn, 10% malted corn, 5% rye, 5% malted barley. A nose that literally makes you exclaim, oh, wow. Pecan pie, walnuts, caramel, cinnamon. Yep. Rickhouse funk for sure. This whiskey melts like butter in your mouth. Absolutely. Caramel. Yes. Yeah, that's my favorite. I don't know how you could buy this right now online. Oh, it's $130. for this bottle. The Ivy Mountain Distillery, Mount Doc Holiday 10-year straight whiskey. Okay. I have Top Jimmy says I have that bottle. I love it. Dude, Jimmy, this is really good, man. The D. So, all right. I think the consensus on this for me is I kind of dig this. It's kind of cool. I don't know. I feel like it's a way that you can taste different. And there's different subscriptions from when I saw online where you could kind of go and pick and choose how many boxes you want to get. I think it's monthly, whatever it may be. They release a different box. I don't know. I think it might be a cool gift, especially if you have someone that's a little bit more bourbon curious that wants to find new flavors. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, did I run into some stinkers tonight? But I feel like you're going to get that with a lot of craft whiskey. So it's just a matter of finding what you like. So. But if you're looking for a last minute gift idea, I think Blind Barrels could be kind of cool. I like that they give you the tasting notes, they give you the QR code, very easy to use. Ease of use is obviously pretty important. So Ron Burgundy. Yeah, that's pretty. Is it pretty expensive, Randall? I didn't look at the pricing, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of dig it. Sometimes those crafty stinkers have a way of growing on you after a quarter or half a bottle. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. They could. It's pretty expensive. I believe the distiller Doc Holiday were on Moonshiners. Yes. Whiskey Saint is here. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. So yeah. Blind Barrels. Thanks for sending that along. Kind of a cool experience to go through that. I think a lot of people would enjoy that. It's, affordable. You don't have to go buy, 4 or 5 different bottles to try some of that stuff. Find your favorites, and especially if you're kind of an intermediate whiskey drinker, you could start, even if you don't like some of the whiskeys, it's a good way just to kind of find flavors, kind of get your palate going and your mind connected to different types of flavors and different types of grains that are being used out in the market. Because I think, like for us, like the whiskey enthusiasts, we kind of tend to stick to what we know, especially when it comes to mash bills and well-aged stuff. But I think the craft whiskey movement, as much as popular as it was, it's starting to, I'm not going to say it's starting to dip a little, but I think a lot of those craft whiskeys that got in the game to make some money are now getting to the point where, listen, your stuff has to age up and get really good. Or if it doesn't get good, you're going to have to figure out something else because there's just a lot of competition out there. So I think it's a kind of a cool way to check it out. Even if B wasn't good, I'm still curious to smell it and taste it. Yeah, it might be. Oh, Stuff and Whiskey is here. Oh, what's up? Josh and Aaron in the house. Big Blind Barrels fans here. Fun to try new stuff that often doesn't get shared typically. Yeah, I think for that reason alone, it's kind of cool. So, yeah, welcome in Stuff and Whiskey. We got a lot of cool people. We got Stuff and Whiskey here. Ron Miles. We got Bourbon Lens here. A bunch of other channels. What is going on? 331 people watching. Prozac says, "Hey friends, sorry I'm late." All right, I see my guest judge back there. So real quick, before I bring the guest judge on, I want to do one more quick tasting, because, and I hate to even do this because it's like adding fuel to the fire. But when I did my review of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C924, I was very, very down on it. I thought it was very flat. It wasn't really that great at all. It was a typical bottle of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. So the rumor going around was that the reviewers and everybody that got their bottles kind of in the beginning didn't get the later bottles, which apparently are way better. So again, we're getting into this thing where there's kind of a flavor drift, a variation issue within the different bottling dates of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. So I'm not going to add any more fuel to the fire. Just like, so Whiskey Knows Marty sent me a sample of his Elijah Craig that he thought tasted wildly different than the notes that I was getting. So I'm going to taste his sample and see if I'm crazy or there really is a big amount of flavor drift. And then maybe it is a thing. So, and I swear to God, this is the last time I'm doing this shit. If there's an Elijah Craig that I don't like, and then somebody tells me, "Oh no, mine tastes a lot better," and this doesn't end up working out, then I don't believe you anymore. So this is the last time I'm doing this shit. So this is my bottle of Elijah Craig C924. And then Where's the sample? Oh, it's right here. Yeah. I'm done with this whole conspiracy. So here is Marty's sample. Because even Scott, my own partner in crime, my bourbon journey, he goes, I watched his review and he's getting all this cherry and this leather. I'm like, what the hell are you tasting, dude? My bottle does not taste like that at all. So apparently it's a thing. So let's see what we get here. So this is my bottle. Let's see if it's opened up at all. Has it gotten better? I think more cherry has come out. Not too much more. It's very typical Heaven Hill, though. You know what? Let me take a little water because I just had all those weird barrels. Yeah. I'm done with this. This is, I mean, it's nutty. It's peanut buttery. This is my bottle. Yeah, it's good. It's a good Elijah Creek barrel proof. Nothing wrong with it. I just don't think there's anything special about it. Yeah, it's good. Proofy, nutty. Vanilla. I think the vanilla and caramel has kind of come to the forefront. Now it's been open a little bit. Good proof point on it, obviously. But good, not great to me. All right, let's try the sample that Marty sent. Here we go. Really not getting a big difference here. Maybe not getting a big difference. Let me go to the palette here. That could possibly be a touch sweeter. It is. This bottle's sweeter than mine, for sure. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just went back to try mine. They are pretty close. So yeah, they're pretty close, guys. This isn't. Back to this one. All right, so this is what I'll say. And then I'm not talking about this shit ever again. Marty sample, there's definitely a little bit of a sweeter back end on it, for sure. A little bit of a sweeter finish on it. But I don't think it's enough to make me feel like I was wrong about my review. I still think my review holds true because even though that bottle might be a little bit sweeter, the cherry and the leather that other people are getting, there's no way I'm getting that, even on Marty's. No way. If you want to get cherry and leather and oak, then the Remus 15 is what you want to taste. Yeah, I think it's bullshit. I think there's a bit of a sweeter variance in Marty sample versus the bottle that I have. Now, if you want to talk about, they do different bottling days. They don't bottle it all in one day. Maybe as whatever is sitting in the tank is mingling a little bit more and things are changing, so like the first batch gets bottled and then they wait overnight. Things are happening in the tank. Then the rest get bottled and then something changes. Yeah, there could be something to that. but it's not enough to make me flip my mind on C924. I still think it's a good, solid Elijah Craig barrel proof, but nothing to write home about. So, yeah, I think it's good. It's not. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I did say sweet back end, Eric Sawyer. I did say it's got a sweeter back end. Sweeter back end. If you guys keep seeing laser codes, camera's going to hear it. So look for a later bottling date. I mean, maybe that's the trick. I don't know. I don't know. Again, though, Josh, I don't think that it's enough of a flavor drift that everybody has to freaking lose their mind. So I'm sticking with it. I still think even with Marty's sample, even though it's a tad sweeter, it doesn't make it like a super top killer bourbon this year. It doesn't. I think this year was a pretty down year for Elijah Craig, and even trying that later sample, I still feel that way. So done. I'm not doing that shit ever again. So I don't want to hear from anybody that, oh, my sample I think is better than yours, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm over it. I'm not doing it again. So whatever I get from Heaven Hill and whatever I review, I'm sticking to it. I don't care. It is fun. It is fun to think about and conspire and think about like different ways to get the better bottles. But maybe there is something, maybe there is something to the later bottling date. Maybe there is something to it. Even though they're both kind of like good standard ECBPs, but none of them really still stand out. I do still feel that Marnie's is a tad sweeter. So maybe there is something to, if you find a later bottling date, that could mean that the blend was mingling a little bit longer than the initial bottle. And maybe that does either wonders for it or it does like harm to the blend. I don't know. Just enjoy the whiskey. Finding good whiskey is too hard these days anyway. Well, no, that's not true. Finding good, there's too much good whiskey to worry about this much about it. So longer in the tank for it to meld. Yes. Hey, guest judge, are you okay? I keep seeing you pop up there. You all right? Did you figure it out? He's trying to figure it out. Yeah, it's fine. Exactly, Paul. That's the best. This is the best review ever. Paul Bellinardo, you just nailed it. It's fine. It's fine. It's nothing to write home about. So anyone saying that C924 is like the greatest Elijah Craig barrel proof, I don't know what the hell you're drinking, but I disagree. The difference with the LLME hype and the laser code ECBP crap is that ME is a different vatting than MD or MF. ECBP batch is one batch. Yes, that's the biggest difference, for sure. Thank you, Jason, for kind of clarifying that, because everybody's like, oh, see, laser codes. No. LLME, even the old J bottlings from the Wild Turkey 101s that had 10-year in it, that is a completely different batch. And some of those batches get older whiskey. And when you find those, they could be pretty special. The Elijah Craig thing drives me nuts because it's all the same batch. And people saying there is a tremendous variance within the same batch. And I just don't think there's a tremendous variance. Is there some? Yeah, as we found out, there could be some. But I don't think it's enough that people need to, go ape shit and charge more on secondary and all this other stuff. So, all right. There we good. Jason, we have an A125 to look forward to next month. That's right, Richie Z. A125 will be on the way. Let's see what happens when 2025 kicks off. In the meantime, speaking of kicking off, we're about to get our guest judge in here for round 2 of Blendageddon tonight. 356 guys, 356 people watching. Make sure you run up that like button, guys. While we're going through tonight's blends, we are going to go through some news stories, answer some questions, and we're going to have a lot more fun here. So stay tuned, but welcome in the new judge in 1 second. But first, let's find out who is blending tonight in week 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome into the show the one, the only, one of the probably, I think, the most underrated palates on WhiskeyTube. A guy that when he says it's good, you should listen. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Dusty Dan.
What's up, buddy?
You doing all right? You doing all right? You doing all right, Dusty?
Now I'm doing all right. Yeah. I was having some. I don't know what happened. I think I had too many tabs open on the computer and had to switch to my phone, as you saw, and then had to switch back. I'm pretty sure that's why you were like, "What the hell's going on?" I saw two of you down there.
All right, Dusty's here. As you can see, week 2 bracket. We have Jeff Perkins, Marshall Konico, Adam Dorman, Bill Kavanaugh, and the Buckhorn podcast. Let's take a look real quick at week number 2. Well, first, let's do a quick recap here. We have week number 1. As you can see, Jeffrey Wack with his blend called Cousins moved on to the next bracket. So did Adam Hinson with his blend called 7th Inning Stretch. As we have here, week 2, we have Sofa King blend from Jeff Perkins, The Last Ditch Effort from Marshall Konico, Bernie's blend from Adam Dorman, Name Me When I Win from Bill Kavanaugh, which I think is probably one of the most brilliant names ever, and the Buckhorn Juice from Martell over at the Buckhorn podcast. As we look ahead to week 3, we have Danny Lopez, Jeff Gamble, Darren Clary, Big Vic, and JG all going head to head. It's going to be a big week next week here on week 3. So stay tuned for that as we get into to week 3 next week. So, Dusty, how the hell you been, man?
I've been doing very well, man. Very well. Just trying to get some of my my last minute bottles into the mix for the whiskey of the year lineup. So, one or two I might have to go out and try to find after trying some of the samples. So maybe like late December for that video to roll out. So.
All right, guys, if you have not subscribed to Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews, please do. The guy actually puts out a lot of content, great reviews. He's got one of the best palates in the game, but I don't think enough people watching his channel right now. So please go subscribe to Dusty Dan. Got great tasting notes, and the reason why he's on here tonight is because I trust his palate immensely. Now, he's been a Blendageddon contestant before. He's got a great palate, but apparently he blends worth of shit.
That's right.
So,
that's right. That's fair.
Because I always felt bad every time this dude was in the first round. He would get knocked out. I was like, oh my god, Dusty, what are you blending over there?
Jesus. I hung up the gloves, man. I'm done.
So just hang it up, man. Yeah, Dusty Dan also does some great picks. So good luck to all the contestants. I am going to drop a little music because I just want to hear some background music. Let's get that going. All right. So we got that going, and basically we're gonna go through each sample. We got A through E. We've got 5 samples tonight, so 3 will get eliminated. 2 will move on to the next bracket. So Dusty and I will kind of go through them, break them down, and see which one makes it to the final. The ones that get eliminated, we will find out what are in those blends, and the other 2 that make it through, we will save that for later to see if they can make it all the way. So we'll see how this Marshall Konico, he's already nervous. We'll see how this goes.
You close to your top 10, Jay? You think you know what's going to be in them?
I have no idea at this point. There's been some late entries into the top 10.
Yeah,
I'll find it hard pressed to see if something beats Russell's 15, but we'll see.
I can agree with you on that one.
But we'll see. I think Russell's 15. Unfortunately, it's going to be unfortunately, but I think it's just going to be kind of a universal. I'm not going to say everybody's going to pick it, but there's going to be a lot of people that pick Russell's 15 as the number 1 bourbon of the year. There's just no way. There's no way around it.
Couldn't agree more.
Yep. I do think that. Hey, Martell is here from the Buckhorn podcast as my heater is racing. Travis Robeson says, Weller Millennium. Weller Millennium did not make the cut for me this year because I couldn't buy it because I wasn't going to pay, $8,000 for a whiskey. I hear Coy Hill is better, says Sandeep Chima. Yeah, the Coy Hill single barrels releases that came out this year, I could see that giving Russell's 15 a run for its money. But here's the thing, though. I think Coy Hill, we've had so many iterations of Coy Hill, 3 or 4 different iterations of Coy Hill. I feel like it's like you kind of know what you're getting. Russell's 15 to me is just a different animal. than Coy Hill is.
Yeah.
There's
some. I went back to it, and there's so much depth to that whiskey, man. That's just behind some of those top layers of oak and cherry and brown. Yep. It's unreal.
Mark Emanecker has a great point. I thought Murray Hill Special Release was better than Russell's 15. I'm really, really curious to see how well that does in a blind this year. I love that bottle so much, and I cannot wait. I think the Murray Hill Club may lose it on the finish because I think Russell's 15 has a better finish. But the front and mid palate on that Murray Hill Club Special Release is special.
Which special release was it for the Murray Hill?
It was number 4, I believe. Special release number 4. It's incredible. It's the what was it? Was it Calvados finish? I think the apple brandy. It was ridiculously good. So, yep. Mamuka says he wants to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a happy of the peaceful New Year. Absolutely, Mamuka. Thank you so much. Same to you and yours. So yeah. All right, man. You all poured out?
Yeah, buddy.
All right. Grab my pen. And while we're doing this, we'll go through a few news stories because there is actually some big news stories that came through and hit. But it was Calvados. Okay, thank you. I'm not losing my mind. All right. Very few people talk about the Murray Hill Club. It's fantastic. Yeah, and I'm kind of happy they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
If that thing ends up being a top 5 or top 10 this year, that has a chance to be at least a top 5 this year.
Yeah.
And people might be a little pissed at me, like, shut up about it, dude.
All right.
People were telling me to shut up about it when I first reviewed it because everybody was going to get it. Oh man. All right. You ready, man?
That's right.
All right, letter A. Let's nose it and we'll taste it and we'll see if this has what it takes. I'm happy I have 2 as well, Ernest Peacock. Well, I have 1.5. I have the one that I have, and I have a backup. So,
what, the Murray Hill?
Yeah. Eric Farrar, how was the 13 Double Oak this time? It was actually really good this year. The sample I had, thought it was I liked it better than the second one, but still not as good as the first one. I still feel like the first one's the best. But
get a little like cinnamon apple kind of on the nose a little bit.
There's definitely apple in here all day long. I'm getting Granny Smith apple peel, like green apple.
Smells proofy. I don't know. I mean, I just warmed up a little bit of Four Roses LE. I wanted something above 100, but below that 125, 130 range. So
EJ says Murray Hill Club LE is on the shelf here most of the time. Really, EJ? I might have to peg you for another one because I think I want to. I don't want to know what I don't want to know what the results of my blind is going to be. So if it ends up being a top 5, I might need to grab another one of those before it. Yeah.
EJ, let me know what they're running. If there's a handful of them.
Yeah.
I love the apple, the undertones of like that caramel cinnamon.
It reminds me a little bit of Green River a little bit. Apple.
A lot of that Green River vibe.
Yeah, apple, citrus. Yep. All right, let's give it a try, man. Cheers. Right, thanks for hanging out tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that's like that really hits the back, like the mid to back of the palate. Man. Smelled proofier than I think it was.
Ooh. Yeah, it's proofy. I still get a lot of the caramel apple on here. It's giving me like a ginger ale vibe on the back end too. You getting that?
Yeah, it's that effervescence is like that kind of it builds up in the middle of the palate and then it follows through into the back. And that's like some of that spiciness kind of builds up too. Some nutmeg, some of that apple, like you were saying, that Granny Smith apple.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a
Okay.
nice finish to it, medium to long finish.
Yeah, I think the finish might be the best part on this for me. I love the flavors here. They're very dense, they're very rich, but they're also with a brighter palette like this, you would almost figure like it's not going to be as long of a finish, but
Right.
it is.
It
It's
is.
kind of a refreshing little whiskey. It's weird in a good way. In a good way.
Mouthfeel too. Like I get more of the mouthfeel on the mid to back of the palate than I do the front. Front comes off sweet, but that's and like the middle of the back of the palate's kind of where it builds up and it gets kind of like oily and silky. Kind of it hits the soft palate up at the top too.
Yeah, I'm kind of digging this one.
Yeah.
This was yeah. Real quick, let's go to the first news story of the night, guys. Real quick, just to kind of go through them here. Where is it? Where are we at here? Let's see. So Jim Beam today, there's a picture of the bottle. Jim Beam launched the Private Barrel Club. Come as friends, leave as family. Jim Beam launches debut consumer single barrel program. So on Tuesday, Jim Beam toasted its imminent 230th anniversary with its first private barrel program aimed at consumers. So this is not stores, not bourbon groups, but consumers. The whiskey giant announced that guests at its Claremont, Kentucky facility can now become master distiller for a day, touring the rack houses as they pick a barrel of Knob Creek bourbon or rye. The Private Barrel Club will be exclusive to Knob Creek for the time being. Though Beam distilled favorites like Booker's, Old Overholt, Basil Hayden, and Baker's may become available in months and years to come. Yeah, I don't want a single barrel of Basil Hayden unless it's cast strength. The private tour will reportedly include a behind-the-scenes look at the James B. Distilling Company. After tasting and selecting their barrel, guests need only wait 90 to 120 days to pick up their bottles and bring them home. Prices are said to vary depending on the bottling yield. The typical Knob Creek barrel yields between 100 to 175 bottles, prices for which begin at a minimum of $59.99 each. If you and a group up to 7 others are interested, check out the Beam Private Barrel Club booking link here. So you guys can go to the Jim Beam website and check out the link if you want to do this. So this is a really interesting take on a private barrel program. So now we're talking, you don't have to be in a group or a store. You don't have to buy the entire barrel at once. You basically go through with a bunch of people. You pick out your barrel and you could just buy the bottles that you want directly from the distiller without having go through the 3-tier system to a store or a distributor or whatever it may be. This, I think, is actually pretty brilliant on Jim Beam's part. I think this is really cool. I think it gives a lot of people the chance that have never done one before to go and be part of this. Now, my questions is like, do you have to buy the entire barrel? So if like you're doing this and you pick a barrel that you want to do, all of them get bottled. Do all these 150 bottles need to be spoken for? That's my one question. Yeah. I feel like it probably does, but I think this is actually a pretty cool concept.
Yeah, I'd like to see the rules behind how all that works, because it is like you said, it's a good opportunity for people who've never had the chance to do it to actually go and do one. So
yeah, Mark, I'm thinking you have to make the entire barrel spoken for. If you're going to go with 7 people, split it up, family members, friends, whatever it may be, you have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's not like you're buying a barrel. They're just like, if you want that barrel, we're going to fill all these bottles and then you have to come pick them up. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. I think it's a cool concept. I'm wondering if other distillers will follow suit, because I do think it's kind of like a direct consumer kind of a bonus if you sign up for it. Probably pretty cool. Yep. Yeah, not mad at Beam for that.
No.
Can we put our own tater sticker on it? I don't think Beam allows stickers anymore, do they? I can't remember. I don't think they do. So I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it all has to get done after, because we had the Knob Creek pick from Barrels for Hope.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, consumers must pick up their barrels in the American Outpost upon completion of bottling and pay the full balance they pick. Yeah, there you go. So you got to buy all the bottles. So get your friends, your family, get everybody together and go sign up and grab a single barrel. It's pretty cool. I dig it. I like that idea. All right, let's go through a couple of other quick stories here. Old Forester dropped a new 117 series this week, or maybe last week, just because of Repeal Day. So Repeal Day is December 5th, the repeal of Prohibition, which everybody kind of celebrates on December 5th, the day that Prohibition was repealed. This releases the brand's experimental 117 series. It's an 11-year-old bourbon that was chosen because of the specific environment in which it was matured. The barrels matured in Warehouse I and were heat cycled since 2013, meaning they sat on the hottest floors in the building. Clocking in at 95 proof. Okay, that doesn't make sense. It's in the hottest part in the building and it's only 95 proof. I'm guessing they proofed this down.
That they had to have.
Yeah, $64.99 for the bottle, for a 375 milliliter. All right. So I don't know if anybody in the chat got a chance to try that. This is kind of the next big story in whiskey right now, and I have to find a bottle of this. Listen, if anybody in the chat is able to get a bottle of this, please email me, send me a sample. I really want to try this Tanager cigar blend from Still Austin. So I think we kind of talked about this. This is their most prestigious whiskey to date, apparently. Suggested price of $149. It's available in Still Austin's tasting room starting Friday. And this was as of, when did this post? December 6th. So this was last week on Friday, I'm assuming. This is a blend of bourbons made from red, white, and blue corn. So they're red, white, and blue corn offerings blended together, plus rye and barley, according to Still Austin, to make this whiskey, which is aged a minimum of 5 years. It employed the small waters blending method, which is often used in cognac and armagnac. You could thank Nancy Fraley for doing that. This technique adds more caramelized wood sugars and length to the palate of the whiskey, which is bottled at 53% ABV. Nancy the Nose Fraley blended it, and they're calling this a cigar blend type of whiskey. And I want to try this so bad. I'm hoping to come across that at some point. Other quick stories here. High West is releasing a tequila finished whiskey and I'm trying to remember the name of with Casa Noble. Casa Noble and High West are celebrating the artistry of blending with a tequila finished rye whiskey. So there's that. Paul John, the Indian whiskey, has come out with a Christmas whiskey variation. I'm not sure what the blending details are on that, but I can look that up real quick. Let's see what else. I think that was it. A Christmas edition single malt from Paul John is finished in Caribbean rum casks. I'm not sure why that kind of denotes Christmas. $79 to $84.99 per 765 milliliter bottle, which comes in a festive tube. Festive tube. That's like Santa's OnlyFans name. And lastly, kind of a sad story here. This sucks. Waterford, the kind of upstart Irish distillery, has suspended sales amid bankruptcy. So the Irish Times reported on Wednesday that Waterford Whiskey is suspending its sales and entering receivership after a loss of 7.7 million euros, or $8 million over the past few years. The outlet reports that HSBC Bank will take over the distillery as bankruptcy proceedings are set in motion. Waterford CEO and founder Mark Reiner said, "It's tragic news. Anything I'm going to say isn't going to be adequate to describe my feelings right now. It's been a great effort from the whole Waterford team. They've given great dedication, done a great job. I'm sorry I've let them down." Man, that's a gut punch right there. The outlet reports that Waterford Whiskey showed it had sales amounting to $3 million in 2022, a dip of $315,000 from the prior year. The record showed the whiskey brand claimed the losses stem from its choice of distributor in the United States. Full losses amounted to a total of $8.1 million and $42 million drop in stocks. Rainier's claim to fame stems from the fact that he bought back Bruichladdich Distillery and has been a tireless champion of bringing back the concept of terroir to whiskey, per Whiskey Magazine. Rainier claimed that he's been in a spiral of despair, panic, fear, and embarrassment since Waterford filed for bankruptcy. After what caused the distiller to experience such losses, Rainier shared his theories. We borrowed to distill more than we needed, a strategic reserve, if you will, insurance against future crises. What I didn't foresee was a global pandemic, a cost of living crisis fueled by war, and soaring interest rates. So there you go. And just like that, one of the most talked about new distillers in the world from Waterford, doing a new style Irish whiskey, younger whiskey, grain to glass, terroir driven, just like Bruichladdich is overseas, goes bankrupt. That sucks, man.
It does suck. I mean, that's, anytime you see something like that shut down, it's a shame.
Yeah, I have to agree with Ben here. It has nothing to do with Waterford putting out very young whiskey and sold it for being overpriced. It was expensive whiskey and it was young whiskey. I think what they should have done is spent more on aging it up or got that time to age it up. I think they rushed it out because they spent so much money on the beautiful distillery that it is, and they had to make money sooner than later. And I don't know. I just feel like Irish whiskey, when Bruichladdich does it, when they release that super young whiskey, it's highly peated. So you could hide some of that. With Irish whiskey, there's nowhere to hide. Unless you're finishing it in 50 or 60 different casks, if it's young, unmalted, and malted barley, it's not going to taste great. It's not going to be peated. It's Irish whiskey. I just think there were a lot of, to Ben's point, a lot of bad decisions that were made, unfortunately. And it's unfortunate, too, because the distillery is super talented. They were on the way to making some great whiskey, but unfortunately, just didn't hold up.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to B. That's it for the news. Let's go through these samples, man. Here we go.
On to B.
On to B.
It smells like there's some turkey in there.
It does smell like turkey. This does smell a little wild turkey-ish.
It definitely does.
Some of these places never seem to realize being even 10, 20% overpriced is a huge deal in this community. We hunt value. Cough, Dalmore, Whistle Pig, Nulu, Barrel Craft Spirits. Waterford was all about grain and glass, but then put them in various barrels and blended it, which ruined the entire experiment, says Andy. That's a really good point, Andy.
There's just like underlying fruitiness to it. I swear to God, this smells like the Wild Turkey 70th is in here.
Wow. God, it smells so much like turkey.
It does.
I feel like there's some 10-year in here, maybe a little Russell's, maybe somebody threw in a little LLME.
It's got the color.
Let's try this one. Here we go.
Cheers.
Oh, and it tastes like turkey.
It 100% tastes like turkey. Boy, that is good though.
Dude, there is so much cinnamon on the back end of that.
Woo! Yeah, yeah.
That is a cinnamon bomb.
Nutmeg. Oh
wow.
My God. Man, wow.
Cinnamon and nutmeg for days. That's what I'm writing down. If there isn't turkey in that, then I don't know what the hell it is.
I mean, I'm 100% sold there's turkey in here for sure.
Richie Z says, Jason, I just poured the 70th turkey before Dan said that.
Wow.
All right, guys, this is kind of yeah. This is kind of the time where you can kind of put your questions in the chat, either to me or Dusty. We'll try to answer as many questions as you can. I love doing these Blendageddon samples, kind of a open Q&A session for all of you. So if you guys have any questions, put them forth. Looking at any bottles, Christmas gift ideas. What do you think? Whiskey Habit says, he says, caught the eye from multiple people checking laser codes on Russell's 10s all week. Yeah, that's going to happen. All right, let's go to letter C here.
All right.
Oh, letter C, dude.
Let me swish.
All right.
All right, letter C.
Yeah, I agree, Richie. I think it is more of a cinnamon bomb. Maybe do ECBP versus Stag videos each year. I would, Kenneth, but I can't get Stag. I can't get Stag as easy as I get ECBP. That's kind of the problem. And I think Stag, just like ECBP, maybe a controversial thought. You guys let me know in the chat. I think both Stag and ECBP have dipped in quality in the last couple years. Honestly, I don't know. When I splurge and find a Stag, or even like buy one, even upcharged, I don't know what it is. I'm just not that impressed with it anymore. I don't feel like it's like, oh, holy shit, it's this wow bottle. I mean, I could see if people are getting it, people only get it like once or, 2 times every couple of years. Yeah, it's going to seem very well. It's going to seem very good. But I mean, when you're comparing it to some of these other batches, I mean, not many people have that luxury. But if you do, you could definitely tell there's a dip.
Yeah.
In the quality. Now, I don't know if they're putting. Now, remember, Stag is NAS. It's supposedly 6 to 8 years old, sometimes even 9 years old. But I feel like we're getting more 6 to 7 year old product in those Stags lately.
They're running what, $80?
Yeah. 23A is an all time great of the Stags. 23A. Did I like 23? I thought 22A was the one I really liked. Maybe it was 23A. Yeah, I mean, there are some outliers there, but just not consistent enough for me to like run out and buy every single one.
Yeah.
Jay, question: any plans on doing an up and coming distilleries or craft ranking each year? I think you'd be the best in Whiskey Tube to actually do it. Yeah, that's actually a good. I mean, I've done like whiskey, like bourbon brands you should be looking out for now. But there are so many craft. Like, look at tonight. Like we tried in that blind box. I've never heard of any of those. Well, I've heard of 2 of them, but I didn't hear of the other 2. So there's still a lot out there that I have yet to explore. I think there's something to be said for brands that maybe people are sleeping on or not really paying a lot of attention to. I have talked about Ben Holiday. I've talked about Detling. I've talked about, I mean, even Green River to some extent. What are some other ones? Copper and Cask, but a lot of the brands that sometimes the YouTubers know and talk about are ones that are sourcing whiskey, and not a lot of people want to hear those anymore because they're higher priced variances. But Stag at MSRP is great. I totally agree. How about whatever batches you can get of Stag? Put your favorite of that against your favorite ECBP, along with Rare Breed and Green River Foolproof each year to see how they hold up over time. Yeah, could definitely do that.
I think Green River Foolproof is one of the best bargain buys you can get.
Yeah, Green River Foolproof will probably make my top 10 this year just because it's fantastic and the price is 100%. Awesome. Just blind and rank 11 through 24B. Some of the newer ones were up there, says Bourbon Experience. Yeah, that's the problem. Like I don't come across them that often unless I, go on secondary and pick them up. So I got to try more of them, I guess.
Yeah, I love that batch 9 and 12 was good too. I didn't have
9 and 12. Yep. 9 is still my favorite. Followed by, I haven't, the closest thing I've had to batch 12, I think was that 22 or 23A. I just can't remember which one it was. I really like that one. What's in the running for top rye of the year? That's a great question, Kenneth, because there's so many good ryes this year. I don't even know, man. Yeah, 15 was a big favorite for a lot of people because that thing was just candy in a glass. So there are so many amazing single barrels available that some of the ECBP and Stag releases just don't hit so hard. I think that's what it is, Jason. When you're fortunate enough to just try so many good single barrels all the time from various groups, stores, whatever it may be.
It is hard not to buy ECBP, though, especially at the price that they're at. I mean, yeah, they may have dropped the age statement down on them, but I mean, still, what are they? What are they run? 79, 69?
Yeah, about.
For an 11 to 11 and a half, 12 year. I mean, it's still a good buy if you think about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of good rye whiskeys this year. There's so many good ones.
There's a lot of good ryes.
Jason, have you and Dan covered Mackenzie Bourbon and Finger Lakes? Yeah, I talked about them a while back, but I don't get Mackenzie here, so it's been a while since I've tried their stuff.
I don't think I've ever tried anything from them.
Kenneth Ratburn says Green River Foolproof is our preferred for holiday spice old fashions. Toast some pepper, cinnamon, cardamom, clove, anise, allspice, ginger, and ginger paste, and add water and terminato. Oh, damn, dude. Kenneth going all in on that.
Nice.
All right, let's go. Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta go back to C.
She's great. She's great. I mean, I put down rich, dense, subtle chocolate, plum, raisin.
There's a nice little oak funk on there too.
Yeah.
On C. But yeah, man, I think the plum, that's a great call out. It's got a very rich fruit flavor to it.
I mean, the nose is fantastic too. God, that's good, man.
Is that are we talking? I'm getting like a raisin, but I feel like it's golden raisin, not the
It's
dark.
brighter. It's a brighter raisin.
Brighter raisin, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna make a Green River pasta sauce.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
That's good shit right there.
That's really good. That definitely has something that has to have some age in it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the Westward limited release this year, that's probably one of the best American single malts I've ever had. That thing is incredible. Incredible. You guys, I tasted it live. That thing was so freaking good. All right, I like C a lot right now. C is really good.
Yeah, C's solid, man.
Jason, have you had the chance to try an ECBP rye yet? Says Adam Hinson. Yeah, I've had ECBP rye. I haven't tried the toasted rye cast strength barrels. I haven't gotten a chance to get any one of those yet. I have seen, yes, Westward Milestone. That's the one. Bourbon and beards. The Westward Milestone is amazing.
Oh,
amazing.
Wait, you on D?
I'm getting on D right now.
Oh,
I should not have said that. That's terrible. Nobody clipped that. I said that very badly.
I love the nose on D, man.
You see, I literally just said I need to get on the D. That's terrible. ECBP rye is officially a thing. Yeah, ECB toasted rye cast strengths are officially a thing. Yep. Oh man, that smells amazing.
Oh my God, you're not kidding, man.
Holy crap!
Like, yeah, I mean, C was definitely rich and dense on the nose. This is taking it up a notch.
David Smith says, "Yeah, you do, Jason." That's the old pork chop talking.
Oh my God, man, that's
Kenneth. Toasted rye cast strength picks are out there from Elijah Craig. So, yep.
Oh boy.
Did you try it yet?
Oh boy.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Man, the oiliness of that.
Oh.
Wow. Man, that is really good.
The thing is, like, I don't chase toasted stuff. I'm not like toasted rarely hits for me. So for me to go out and hunt down a toasted rye, I would have to hear a lot of good things about it before I pull the trigger on that. It's one thing to buy everything I can to, and I understand that people want to hear my opinion on certain bottles, but you know what? I would probably enjoy it. I do enjoy toasted rye over toasted bourbons, so maybe I would like it. Maybe I will try to seek one out, an Elijah Craig toasted rye cast strength. I'll see if I can get one at some point. I don't even know where to start trying to find one of those, but I will ask around and see if I can find one for sure. Or if anyone has one and wants to send a sample, hit me up at themashanddrum@gmail.com. If you have a sample of one, I'll happily trade you a sample of something for your ECBP toasted barrel-proof rye. So the D,
man, it is just stuck to my tongue. It's stuck to the sides of my cheeks.
You don't get like a weird bitter.
It gets bitter in the very back.
Yeah, there's a
very back end. It gets bitter, I don't want to say over oaked, but
there's a little bit of like a mothball moss mossiness on the back end of it,
The very back end.
which I don't like. But yeah, the front of the palate and mid palate are phenomenal.
Oh my god, yeah.
Whiskey Habit says the Dusty Dan says it's just stuck to my tongue. We're just giving a lot of video clips for everybody. GW Gamble says I'm gonna throw in a toasted barrel proof bourbon with the Garrison Cowboy for you. I don't want a toasted barrel proof bourbon, Gamble. I want the toasted barrel proof rye if you have it. But I'll try the cow. I've heard the Cowboy is great this year, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that Westward Milestone this year is ridiculous. It's so good. All right, so I like clip it again. I like the D a lot, but I hate the finish on it. It kind of kills me.
The finish isn't anything crazy by any means.
The finish is killing me. Every time I go back to it, it's getting worse.
Yeah, there's a lot of flavor on the front to mid. It definitely coats the palate very well. However, there is I don't know if it's from oak. I don't know what the age of the whiskey is in here, but it could be giving off that bittery kind of vibe there in the back. Bittery, a little bit earthy on the back, maybe a little bit.
It's almost like that. What do you call it when you strike a match and you blow it out? The sulfur. I'm getting this like weird sulfuric. Oh, it's so weird on the back end of that. I don't know. I was so like the nose is fantastic. The front of the palate is fantastic. The mid palate is great. The finish is awful.
Yeah, it's different.
It's gotten a little funky. Oh man, it's like mothballs. What the hell is that? I need my moose. I need my moose.
Man, I want to circle back to that one after.
Yeah, we can go back through these. Let's go to the last one. Let's try E here.
All right.
Ooh, E has a nice little nose to it.
Yeah, it's very different from all of them, really. Man, there's
I don't know. Am I thinking wrong? Maybe it's not the toasted rye. Is it a toasted bourbon that's barrel proof? From Elijah Craig Barrel Proof? Is that what it is? Why did I think it was the rye? I swear I thought I saw a rye that were barrel proof.
Whoa. Whoa.
All right, so maybe it's not the rye. Maybe it's a toasted bourbon that are barrel proof.
Whoa. I
don't know. Why did I think it was a rye? I thought I saw the ryes that were at barrel proof.
What?
Yeah, maybe I was just like wishful thinking. Maybe that's what I really wanted instead of the toasted bourbon, because that's what we all want. Mark Emanecker, yeah, you said it, because the label is green. Oh, is it green? Why would they make the bourbon toasted green? That's why I thought it was a rye. That's why. Because I want it to be a rye. All right, yeah, that's what it was. I literally thought it was a toasted rye because the label was green. That makes no sense.
That hits. I want to see what you think about this on the palate.
I love how Dusty is like decoding the blends, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out what the hell Elijah Craig is releasing.
There is something that almost gives me a gin vibe, and it's like super orange and lemon forward. A lot of citrus on it for me. I'm curious as to what you think on that one.
All right, GW. Jeff Gamble, send me the toasted bourbon, barrel proof from Elijah Craig, and the and a cowboy. Get that in the mail stat.
I'm waiting for your reaction on this one.
Ooh. Dude, that is juicy fruit gum in a glass, dude.
It's like super orange and lemon and
Dude, it is so juicy fruit, citrus, all
so
of it.
bright. It's so bright. Like,
Dude, does that remind you of the juicy fruit Russell's pick a little bit?
It does, but you know what else it almost reminds me of? That may have a little bit is your Driftless, but it doesn't have the. I don't really think it has the color to have any of
No,
that.
it doesn't have. Yeah, it doesn't have the thickness. I shouldn't have said that either. I'm saying too many things.
At least it's on E.
Yeah, at least it's on E. If I said that about D, that'd be pretty bad.
Oh god,
it's not as girthy. It's not as girthy.
that is.
Oh
that is
shit!
so
Oh my god. That's it. I'm ending this right now. Oh my god.
Oh my lord. That is so citrus. That is just a punch you in the face with citrus.
Keith P says there is a toasted barrel proof rye single barrels. There is toasted barrel proof rye single barrels from Elijah Craig. What is going on?
So much for the Mash and Drum family channel.
I mean, oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, kids, if you're watching. We got kids tuning in to see the Grinch, and they're hearing about D, and this doesn't have enough. It's not as thick and rich.
Wow.
So there is earmuffs. So there is barrel proof ryes. What is happening? Are there barrel proof ryes from Elijah Craig that are toasted or not? They are single barrel. Yeah, single barrel picks only. That's what I thought, Keith. They're single barrel picks only that are toasted rye barrel proof picks. That's what I thought I saw. Okay.
Not as veiny.
Whatever it is, I'm just gonna try to find one. Whatever it is, guys. Okay, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, that's what I thought. And what are the laser codes? Top Jimmy, I don't know. The ECBP that are toasted are private store picks and not an actual release. So, yeah, but that's what I meant, Bourbon and Beers. They're out there, but they're picks. I didn't. If it came off like me saying it was an actual release, I apologize. That's not what I meant. They are private picks that are toasted rye, barrel proof ryes. That's all I'm talking about. So that's what I wanted to try. Yeah. When you take the D to the back of the palate, it gets funky, says J.E. Eric Farrar says Cam has one. Okay. Yeah. So if Cam did a review on it, then they exist. See, I'm not crazy. I did see one. That's what I want to try. One of the Elijah Craig toasted rye barrel proof store picks. That's what I want to try. So if anybody has one, just to be clear, let me know and send me one.
D is so E. I'm sorry. E is just so citrus forward on the nose, on the palate. It is very citrus forward.
Top Jimmy, yes. Get me a Tanager tomorrow. Get it, Top Jimmy.
They're on secondary too, but they're a little higher.
Bourbon Baller says I have 2 ECB toasted picks, but they are not ryes. Okay. Cam reviewed bourbon. Don't listen to him, Jason. Said Javari Ashford. All right, I'm done. You know what, guys? I'll do my own research. You're killing me. Eric Farrar says I thought it was a rye pick. Maybe Eric, you thought it was rye because the label's freaking green, like I thought.
My brain hurts after reading all these. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Toasted barrel proof rye does not exist. I promise, says Prozac. Okay, thank you. Jesus. Yeah, no, I'm not going to call Cam.
That will not happen.
E is a total citrus bomb.
It is the citrus freaking bomb, man.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see at the very end of this competition what's inside this blend.
Freaking orange bitters. I don't know what's in here.
Orange bitters. Hey, I mean, whew, yeah. Very citrus forward. What's your email again? I'll send a picture. Says Keith P.
Oh, GW Gamble says you're not going to be disappointed in the bourbon. It's effing insanely good. Okay, all right. Jeff, send it along, man. Send me that and the cowboy, and I will try next week. If Jeff gets in the mail and send it to me, I will try it live next week on the live stream. Some are trying to help you, Jason, even though you are a Falcons fan. Got Titans. We suck worse. Yeah, I don't understand. Kirk Cousins goes out. He throws for like 8 gazillion yards against Tampa Bay, slinging the ball all over the place. And the last 4 weeks, he's just throwing the ball to the other team. It looks like on purpose. I don't know what's happening. So
Derek Larry says it's weird. A bunch of random people on the internet aren't in agreement.
Shit. Eric says, my bad. I was just listening to him. I even remembered asking why there wasn't a regular barrel-proof rye before it toasted. Oh, so, okay. So it is just a bourbon. All right, Jeff, you're up, man. Send me the bourbon and the cowboy, and we'll taste it next week. All right, let's
circle back.
Let's circle back.
Okay.
Yes, sweet Cindy. I was talking about Kirk Cousins.
All right, so now we're going from a citrus bomb back to the one that was good to the end.
Are you going back in reverse order?
Yeah, I'm going back in reverse order.
All right.
I just want to see how they change going backwards.
All right, I'm going back to this D that had that nasty finish on it. Oh, I still get it.
What is that?
I don't know. What is that? Grandma's armpits? What is that? I don't know what that is, dude.
What is that?
I don't understand how something that tastes so good on the front and mid just goes so sour on the back end.
Oh man. It's not a subtle bitter note. It's like it's there. I mean,
hobo boot leather. All right, I'm going to C.
Okay.
Just a touch of Malort. So, dude, C is fantastic.
Yeah, C was really good. Rich, dense, subtle chocolate, plum, raisin.
See, the third letter C here also has a little bit of a funky finish, but it's not. It doesn't give you like that sour milk note. It's more. It's like a concentrated like barrel funk. It's not like that bitter, weird, almost mothball. You know what I'm getting in D.
Yeah, because I mean, I even put on there. There's something with some age. I feel like there's something with some age here to it. So you are getting that oakiness from something that's giving off some age in here on the back of the palate. It almost hits like this, just not in a funky way.
Yeah, I love the chat tonight. The chat is on point.
It's a funeral home.
Yeah, the chat is. Oh my god. Yeah, I like C a lot. There's kind of again when you called out that plum note earlier, that is spot on, man.
Yeah, that's got a nice plum note to it.
Yeah, it's like a plum grapey. That thing's really good.
Well, it's that combination between the dark fruit and that golden raisin.
Mm-hmm.
That's bringing all that together. Subtle chocolate note there in the middle of the palate. Man, that's really good. Let's go back to B.
All right, so I'll do. All right, so it's a bourbon. The Elijah Craig Toasted is a bourbon, barrel proof. It's done. Jeff is sending me a sample. We'll try it next week.
So B, I wrote down cinnamon bomb, subtle fruit. I put turkey, long finish on this one.
Yeah, it does. It really does remind me of Jimmy's 70th. Totally. It's like somebody made their own home blend of Jimmy's 70th somehow.
Yeah, I swear to God, it does, man. I said on the 70th, like it's not as baking spice heavy, and there's more of those subtle fruits on that 70th, and I really, really like that. It has a better mouthfeel to it. It has a better to it. This, man, if there's not turkey in this, whatever combination of whiskey is inside of here
makes it taste like turkey.
I swear to God, it makes it taste like turkey. Damn, that's good though, man. The mouthfeel on that too, like going backwards, It had a good mouthfeel going forward, but going backwards, it's the mouthfeel. It's stuck to my tongue, man. It's
I'm go back to A. A I think got even better.
okay. A, I wrote apple cinnamon, silky, oily, baking spices, Green River vibes.
There's still some of that, but I feel like the spice and maybe it's because it's reverse order, but I feel like the mouthfeel is better on A now for some reason. On the palate, it's just coming off a little more silky, a little bit more velvety on the palate. That's a nice one.
Yeah, see, that's another one. Again, I mean, when I wrote it down, it was silky, oily. It definitely has it, but I'm wondering, man.
All right, so let's do this. If you can eliminate one of them, what would you eliminate?
I'd hate to say D, but it's just the back. It's the back of it.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It's the front and the mid is amazing. The back end of it is just terrible.
If that was different.
Yep.
Oh man. I hate to do it, but yeah.
All right, so we're getting rid of D. D's out.
Yeah. D's out.
He's the first casualty. All right, so now we got A, B, C, and E.
I feel, and this is just my opinion, I like E, but it's giving me one-dimensional kind of vibes, right? It's super citrus on the nose. It's super citrus on the palate. There's not a lot of depth. There's not a lot of complexities to it. Not like these first three.
I totally agree. I think E is a one-trick pony.
It is a one-trick pony.
It's very good. It's the amount of lemon, lime, orange. I don't think I've ever had that much citrus in a whiskey, to be honest.
I 100% agree with you. I was going to say, and I love citrus on a whiskey, but this is...
Yeah, it's almost too much. But like I said, it's like if that citrus note was coupled with something else, a little bit more oak or something just to balance it out, it's almost like when you get a dish, like when you're eating something, it's just too much acid. There's just not enough of something else to balance out. There's not enough richness. So I'm with you. I feel like E doesn't belong in the conversation with A, B, and C here. So
it's just, I mean, when you smell it, it's just almost, I just think almost like lemon pledge. Like it is so pungent.
Yeah, I'm gonna eliminate the toasted barrel proof rye. Yeah, that conversation went way longer.
I love citrus too, though, man.
All right. Mark, that's a good question. So since it got eliminated, we will find out what is in that blend because I am completely intrigued what made that so citrusy. So we'll find out here.
Wild. I swear that is the most citrus forward whiskey I have ever had.
All right, so it's between A, B, and C. One of them goes home, and two of them stay to move on to the next round. Who do we got?
Let me swish up here real quick. All right.
Oh man, God, B is so good.
You know, I will say this. I'm a big fan of C.
Me too.
I would almost go as far as saying that C should move on.
I'm with you. C moves on. It's between A and B.
Okay. I'm with you on that.
All right. C is in.
Sure I was with you.
C is so rich, so dense. It's different. It's got a long finish. It balances.
Yes.
C is everything you want in a really nice blend.
I was gonna say like that's everything that I want in a whiskey is what's inside Glass C.
Yeah, I'm wondering if any of the blenders know if we're talking about their blends just on our tasting notes. I'm curious.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch the chat, but
I guess we'll see. All right.
Jokes.
All right. So we are between A and B to see who goes down to the next one here. Who grabs the second spot in the bracket? I think B has the richer nose between the two.
I did, so, man. On B, I love that burst of spice on the mid to back of the palate.
Yep.
On the front, it's very sweet. Cinnamons, the vanillas, the caramels, all that sweetness is kind of a little bit of brown sugars, maybe the slightest little bit of like confectionery sugar. And then all of a sudden, it just hits you in the back with this burst of spice.
Yep. Cinnamon, nutmeg, black pepper all day long.
100%. Very, very spice-driven whiskey, but it also has the balance of the sweetness there on the front. So you're
Marshall Konico says, I'm thinking mine could be any of the 5 at this point. Yeah, you know what? Oh, God, A is so close. I hate to eliminate A, but it's right on the cusp. But I think B is just a little bit better.
Man,
it's right there. I don't know, man. Dusty Dan, I'll let you make the call. What do you think?
Oh man, let me go back to A real quick. Somebody's gonna be like, unsubscribe.
All right. Well, while we're talking about this, since we're going a little late tonight, why not? I've been thinking about this for the last few days since last week. Everybody wanted me to think again about my top 5 Christmas songs, holiday songs of all time. Let's hit it. All right, this is something I've been thinking about all week since last week because everybody was throwing out different songs in the chat and I kept forgetting about it. So I had to like kind of look at a huge list of my favorite Christmas songs or just Christmas songs in general and kind of go down the list and figure out what my top 5 were. So I will go through these with you again as we're kind of talking through between sample 1 and 2 here. So
I can't believe you put this on my shoulders, man.
It's okay,
These are
man.
both really good. They both have their own qualities to them, though.
So think about it like this. Because whenever with a lot of these blends, you know, a lot of them can be very good, and we have 2 very good blends here.
Yeah.
But which one out of the 2 do you think is the more? They're both good, but which one do you think is the more unique, or gives you the more unique experience? That's what we're looking for.
For me, I want to say that A gives me more of a unique experience because B. I mean, we both said that we think that there's turkey inside of that blend.
Yeah,
and it's good, but does it remind you too much of a wild turkey to be part of blind? Right? Like, is it that similar to a turkey that it should advance past something that is unique? It's fruity, it's silky, it's oily, a lot of baking spices on it. It has those like Green River vibes to it. The undertones of the fruits. I mean, it's the more unique whiskey to me is definitely A.
Okay.
The more traditional style whiskey, I feel, is B. That's given us those wild turkey vibes, that cinnamon balm, subtle fruit, nice finish. I mean, if I had to pick something that was blended, and as far as being unique and a little different, I'd probably have to move forward with A. As much as I like B.
You know what? It's not that I don't agree with you.
I mean, I can put either one of these forward. I mean,
yeah, Larry 3R. Which one would you want another pour of?
Man,
I don't know. I feel like I think you're right. I think A might be the more unique one. But B is the one I want to keep drinking.
I agree. That's the problem. That's the problem. B is the one that I keep going back and sipping. But A would be a little more unique. You know, B is giving me vibes of a turkey, even though it's like a twist on a turkey, and I love that. It's almost like a twist on the 70th. but A has like the unique kind of flavor profile to it. If I had to go back and sip another whiskey, it would be B, but the most unique would be A. So I guess B. If I had to go back and sip, I mean that's the one.
No, there's no wild cards this round. But I think for me, if I'm going to go back to a whiskey, it's going to be B.
Yeah, I mean it
has as. I think you're right. I think A has a good uniqueness to it, but the finish on B is what just gets me excited.
100%. And
I just want to keep drinking it and keep tasting it, and that's the one, man.
That spiciness that starts on the back, like mid to back of the palate on B, and just continues to flow on. That's where it shines for me on this one. Front of the palate, again, it comes off sweet, it comes off a little soft, but mid to back of the palate, that buildup is, and then that finish is fantastic. A, again, it is definitely unique. I love that Green River vibe that it has to it, that subtle fruit, the oiliness, the viscosity.
Yeah, unfortunately, A, even though we really like it, it just, as good as it is, it's just not holding up to B. And unfortunately, this is what happens when you get into a tough bracket.
Yeah.
You have some whiskeys that are getting really close, some really good blends. But all right, so our winners tonight are going to be C and B.
C and B.
C and B are moving on. With A just missing out, man. That sucks. But this is why you blend. This is why you got to get those nuances. All right. So let's go to the blends here. These are all the blends. These are all the actual blends that are in it, and we have the results.
Man.
From the Grinch.
Smells good.
All right, so letter A, the one that was so close, on the cusp. That goes to shit. Oh man, my buddy Martel from the Buckhorn podcast. Just misses. Martel, man, you had a tough bracket, buddy, but that was a really good blend. Yeah.
Dang.
Martel, I don't have an envelope from you. I'm not sure if you texted me what was in your blend, but if you could text me again, please let me know. I'll read it on my phone because I don't have an envelope from you. So, oh, here we go, and there he is. Okay. So in his blend was 2 bitch bourbon, small batch with 4 ounces of that one was 100 proof. Then he had MWS bourbon, 4 ounces, which was 95 proof. Then he had Barrel Dovetail, 122 point. I would not have guessed Dovetail was in that.
Well, I mean, I know Dovetail was fruity, but I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean,
And then he had ECBP A124, 119 proof.
Well, wow.
I mean, nothing even close to Green River was in that blend.
No,
but it tasted like it.
Wow, that is wild, man.
Dude, that was.
I mean, I remember the Dovetail being super fruity. I don't think I have any more of that, but
yeah. All right, let's go to the next one that will be eliminated, which was letter E. E was the second one out.
God dang.
And that one belongs to, so that was a solid blend. We liked it. It just didn't hold up against the others. That was the Super Monster Citrus blend.
I'm very curious to see what's inside.
Yeah, so this belonged to Marshall Conico with his blend called Last Ditch Effort. So Marshall, I cannot wait to see what the hell you blended to get that much citrus in the blend. Let's find out. What do we got here? Last Ditch Effort is 50% Penelope straight bourbon whiskey, 4-grain barrel strength, 116 proof, and What? 50% Michter's rye whiskey, single barrel strength, 109.8 proof.
How would that create that much citrus on a whiskey?
He blended Michter's rye barrel strength and Penelope straight bourbon whiskey 4-grain 100 to make that much citrus. That's insane.
That is insane. I will tell you, and I'll be very honest, that is the most citrus heavy whiskey I've probably ever had in my life. I love citrus, but it's just that's crazy.
It was just too much. Like it went. Like I know rye gives off citrus, and I do feel like Penelope does give a lot of citrus, but that especially with that 4-grain mash bill. However, together, if anybody has those two whiskeys at home, I'm telling you, blend those things together and just see how much citrus comes out. It's insane.
Wow.
Marshall Konico even says he has no idea how that happens. That's crazy.
That is very crazy.
That's
man.
wild.
I would have never guessed that's what's inside that.
All right, so we're down to B, C, and D. This is Adam Dorman, Jeff Perkins, and Bill Kavanaugh.
Oh my.
Letter D is this was the one with the nasty finish. Unbelievable. The one that was named Name Me When I Win. Bill Kavanaugh. With the D. All right, Bill. I got to find out what the hell's in this blend because the finish got way too. I don't even know how you describe it. Sour. So he blended 60% Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C922. That was 60% of the blend. Oh, so then he blended 30% Heaven Hill Grain to Glass Wheated Bourbon, and then 10% Heaven Hill Grain to Glass Rye. So 12 years, 7 years, 7 years for an average age of 10 years at 123.5 proof. So that was all Elijah Craig. Oh, I'm sorry, all Heaven Hill, I should say.
Yeah.
Would have never guessed that. But that
I mean
that finish got so funky. I don't know if the grain to glass did it, whatever the hell happened, but it got real.
I wonder if because those do have a slight kind of youthful, but it wouldn't give off that kind of funk on the back though.
I know, but you mix some shit together, man. It could get real nasty.
That's mixing those
two. Yeah, so we're gonna name it. We're gonna name it Grandma's Armpits, unfortunately. Which means the winners moving on to the next round. Holy shit. Adam Dorman finally breaks through, gets to the second round of Blendageddon with his Bernie's blend and Sofa King blend from Jeff Perkins. Who was who? So C, the one that we unanimously loved, belonged to Jeff Perkins. That was his Sofa King blend. And letter B, the one that we thought tasted a lot like turkey, belongs to Adam Dorman. Unfortunately, we will not find out what is in their blends just yet.
Yeah.
So congrats to Adam and congrats to Jeff. Well done, fellas.
Yes, very well done, guys. Both those blends are absolutely fantastic, man. Both of them. Great.
All right, guys. Here we go. Here's my top 5. I thought about this. Not much has changed in my list, but one or two songs did change. All right, number 5 for me. Top 5 Christmas songs of all time. Do They Know It's Christmas? From the British people. I don't know what you call it. Was it Live Aid? Who did that? Band-Aid? Was it Band-Aid? I think it was Band-Aid. Band-Aid. So Phil Collins on the drums.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of everybody. That's all you need for the Band-Aid. Do They Know It's Christmas? That's my. I don't know what it is, but it's not a great song. But whenever I hear it, I instantly get in the Christmas spirit. Number 4, a song that I did miss out on that should be on the list. Number 4, Bing Crosby's White Christmas. It's a classic. My Uncle Joey used to sing it. You guys have heard me talk about my Uncle Joey before. He had Down syndrome, and for whatever reason, whenever that song came on, he would sing it. So yeah. Yeah, this is after I researched Darren Clary. I don't know. I'm like you could pick like Jingle Bell Rock and Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, but I don't know. Maybe those are better songs, but I feel like I don't know. Maybe 5 is Sleigh Ride by the Ronettes, who I had on my list last week.
Oh, that's with Phil Spector behind them, right?
Yeah, we'll call 5 a kind of a mix between Sleigh Ride and Do They Know It's Christmas. Number 4, Bing Crosby, White Christmas. Number 3, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by Dean Martin. I don't care what anybody says. That is one of my favorite songs of all time. You listen to him sing that thing. He just makes up shit as he's going along. I think Dean Martin is literally drinking whiskey as he's singing that song. That I love that song so much. Yep. Number two goes to Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas by, that's right, Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas is one of the best songs of all time, which leads me to number 1, which remains the same. Nat King Cole's Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire as my number 1 Christmas song of all time. So there you go.
Yeah. You know, there's 2. So I pop in and out of stores, and I've heard 2 songs, and they're not super popular by all means, but the meaning behind them is really, really cool. So one is a song by, his name's Teddy Thompson, and the song's called Christmas, and it has like this kind of like almost like a reggae vibe behind it. It's I love it. I love the lyrics. It's very different. It's not your traditional Christmas song. Like it's not. He's the only one who sings it. So Teddy Thompson, and the song's called Christmas. And the other one is a band called Foxworth Hall, and the song's called 'Cause It's a Holiday. Those 2 songs have such great meaning to them behind them. So if anybody out there has ever listened to them or wants to listen to them, Teddy Thompson, Christmas, Foxworth Hall, 'Cause It's a Holiday.
Well, let me ask you this, Dusty, because if you didn't watch my my Advent calendar yet today, I asked for people to give me their top. So like TV movie wise, there's usually underrated or more obscure like Christmas. Like everybody watches the favorites. You have like White Christmas, you have the Grinch, you have all the usual favorites, Santa Claus, Fred Claus, whatever it may be. But they're usually more obscure Christmas specials that are out there that people kind of lean on each year. So do you have kind of a more obscure Christmas thing that you like to watch each and every year? I said mine was The Night They Saved Christmas, which was which is a made-for-TV special back in the 1980s it's a terrible, terrible Christmas movie, but for whatever reason, I like to watch it every year.
I gotta say, Home Alone, man. Like Home Alone, the original during Christmas time.
But Home Alone isn't really obscure. Everybody watches Home Alone.
Yeah, Home Alone, and then Gremlins, man. Gremlins.
Oh, Gremlins. Okay, so you're in the Gremlins as a Christmas movie camp?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, he did get Gizmo as a Christmas gift. Oh yeah, and Dan, as we always have to ask you, what is your favorite peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Oh God!
Everything. Give me the type of bread, toasted, non-toasted, type of peanut butter, creamy, chunky, type of jam. Is it jam? Is it jelly? Is it preserves? Give me all of it. What's your top notch? If you want to make your favorite PB&J of all time, how are you constructing it?
Toasted, homemade Italian bread, not over toasted.
Okay.
Where there's just a little bit of that crunch. I could go either way with peanut butter, man. I like it creamy. I like it crunchy. If I had to lean toward, I like texture, so I'll go crunchy.
Okay.
And then as far as peanut butter, man, I love Peter Pan peanut butter, I gotta say.
So Peter Pan chunky peanut butter?
Peter Pan chunky peanut butter.
Toasted Italian bread, not overly toasted.
Not overly
toasted. What's your jam or jelly of choice?
I mean, I guess I gotta go with probably like the Welch's grape jelly.
Okay, just straight up Welch's. Okay.
Grape jelly, yeah, that's probably what I had the most. So I've experimented with some other jams and jellies, but that's the one I typically go back to. So.
All right, there you go, guys. If you want to have a Dusty Dan PB&J, get yourself some Italian bread, toast it, throw some chunky Peter Pan peanut butter on it, and get some Welch's grape jelly, and you're done. Henry Turner, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. That is such a freaking great call out, dude. Such an underrated Christmas special. Absolutely. Lethal Weapon 1 is a Christmas movie. I agree. The Year Without Santa Claus. That's a good movie, Mark. I probably agree with that. It doesn't get talked about too much, for sure. Scrooge with Albert Finley, 1974 musical version. Hands down the best Christmas. Oh, Mrs. EJ. I'm gonna have to watch that. I will watch that. The Holdovers is my favorite Christmas movie now. Albert Finney, yep. The Heat Miser and Mr. Freeze. Yeah, nobody brought up that particular. What is that? Is that the Shiny New Year one? Which one was the Heat Miser? That's not Rudolph Shiny New Year. That's The Year Without Santa Claus. The Heat Miser and the the Heat Miser and Mr. Freeze. That is a great. And everybody talks about Rudolph, Frosty, Santa Claus is coming to town. Not enough people talk about The Year Without Santa Claus with the Heat Miser. And those songs in it, they're so bad, they're so good. Come on. Oh, Violent Night is a badass Christmas movie. Yeah, that's true. South Park Christmas. I love you guys, man. This is awesome.
South Park Christmas.
South Park. Randall Erickson says Debbie does sample D. Okay, it's getting late, guys. People are saying weird shit in the chat now. All right, guys. Thanks for watching the Master Drum here tonight on Whiskey Wednesday night. Hope you had a good time. Thanks for watching again. Like, subscribe on your way out if you haven't subscribed yet. I appreciate all the support. Thanks for watching all the Advent videos. Keep commenting and watching those. If you guys want to watch a stunner today, please watch today's episode. It was a very, very surprising sample that I received. Amazing sample, in my opinion. Really enjoyed it. Dusty Dan, tell them where to find you.
You can find me on Instagram at Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. You can also find me on YouTube at Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. Putting out probably more shorts than reviews. But yeah, I'll be putting out the top 10 whiskeys here probably towards the end of December. Just got to try to touch up on a few things here, a couple bottles. That's where you can find me, guys.
All right. Arios 956 says The Shining is probably set in Christmas. Everybody's saying everything is a Christmas movie now. So, all right, guys. Cheers. Thanks for hanging out. Patrons, we'll do a quick after party live here. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share with. Cheers to the blenders. Thanks for submitting all your great blends, and appreciate it. Congrats to the two winners. And we'll see you next week right here on the Master Drum, 1 week before Christmas next week. So we'll see you then. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.